All right, guys, Automatic Garage back today. We got a fun little thing just to look at here. We're not actually working on anything today. We're going to talk about these two trucks real quick. They're complete polar opposites here because this one here has, I believe it's 776,000 miles on the original injectors on it still. And this one has a dyno whopping, I believe it's 84,000 miles. He just bought it on bringatrailer.com, and it is absolutely as close to being new as you could possibly get. And that is 82,274, and it drives as good as it looks. Drives like it just rolled off the lot just about. I do not care for the wheels or the chrome stuff on it, but it's a very nice clean truck. We'll pop the hood here in just a second on it, but this has, let's verify, I think it's 776. And she's been putting the work in. Sorry, 771. He said he had injector cups done years ago, and they just put O-rings on the injectors and put them back in because there was nothing wrong with them. So, and I don't disagree with that. But this truck actually runs pretty good. She's been sitting here. I think it's been sitting here for a day now and been cranked up. See how she cranks up. But this is a one owner also, and this is what you can get if you take care of your truck, stay on top of your maintenance, which he's clearly done to get this kind of mileage out of it, especially on one set of injectors here. The only thing he did tell me that he's been through, and his only major expense with this truck, other than, of course, expendable items, tires, brakes, stuff like that, is he is on transmission number 3, which I guess that's not too much to complain about when you're, I guess that's average about 250,000 miles out of each one as you go, and I'm sure they're just a regular run-of-the-mill factory rebuild. That's kind of what it looked like from the bottom, what I was picking up on that, but that's not too bad. But I mean, to have this many miles on it, it's still really clean on here, which we just put this new degas bottle on. So what we did, it came in for a big old oil leak, and he thought it was his high pressure oil pump needed to be resealed, which he had a high pressure oil pump put in it like a month or so ago, I think, because it was leaking at the time. I think he was afraid somebody had done something wrong, but we looked at it, there was nothing coming from the valley. What they had actually done was when they put the nipples in where the high pressure lines go to the heads, I think they just didn't, because one of them wasn't tight like it should have been, and another one looked like the O-ring was squished. So we replaced those. That fixed the oil leak up top, and it was pouring oil down below from the front of the oil cooler, which I usually don't ever see them leak there, but it was pouring oil out there because he said he had just drove it to Louisiana and he used 3 gallons of oil getting down there, or had to put 3 gallons of oil on it getting down there. Oil cooler had been resealed in the past, and I think between the oil cooler being redone in the past and his injector cups, I think he probably had some diesel contamination in his coolant system, and he also had some oil contamination in his coolant system, because after we resealed the oil cooler, the coolant that we drained out of it was nasty. And we flushed it, and we flushed it, and we flushed it, and I just could not get it out of all these passages in here, so we replaced this. We ran Cascade, ran some Purple Power through it. I think we spent the better part of about 4 hours flushing this coolant system out to get it to be nice and clean again with no oil residue on it. So that's all done. We did brakes on the front. There's something else we did. Oh, we had to replace the ABS line and a caliper also, because he just about burned his brakes up on the front of this. But that's all we did on this one. This one's here for nothing but upgrades. He just bought on Bring a Trailer, like I mentioned. We're doing 4-inch exhaust, Mishimoto intercooler, Mishimoto transcooler, Titan 51-gallon tank, Mishimoto coolant filtration. Something else I'm missing. I think he had taken it to his local Ford dealer, and he wanted me to double check that the front and rear diff fluid actually got changed. So we're just going to pull the plugs and make sure the fluid looks full, clean, and correct. He wants me to do his transfer case, because I don't think they did that one while they were doing the fluids underneath it. And that may be it. But anyways, he bought it and brought it straight here pretty much. He had put the amp research steps on it, had somebody do that already, which is very nice. But man, I just can't get over the interior in this truck, how clean it is. And the paint too, which is dirty. We just got a bunch of rain. This is crap from all the trees around here, but paint looks excellent on this truck still. I mean, this is what you can't hardly find anymore. It's not all just soaked down with the engine dressing stuff that they put all over it when you sell a truck, but I mean, it's clean. Looks like nothing's been messed with hardly other than the amp research stuff being added right there. Still running the factory box. Looks like the factory expansion tank, and he didn't spare any expense on batteries, I see there, on those Odysseys. But this truck is clean everywhere. And it doesn't leak a drop of anything, which I know that's what a lot of people say when you buy a truck like this. Oh man, that thing's gonna start leaking from every seal that can leak because it hasn't been driven that much. Well, if it does, just reseal the oil cooler and whatever else needs to be resealed. It's not just gonna pour out of everything. But I wanted to show both these trucks. I thought it was kind of unique that we had an extremely high mile 7.3 here that's running excellent, and we had an extremely low mile here. Both from out of town. I think this is Oxford, Mississippi, and that's North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, that one is. But they're really nice trucks, and it just shows you what you can, how far you could take this truck if you wanted to with proper maintenance and taking care of it, which that's what you don't see a lot of times, which 7.3s are very forgiving on lack of maintenance, unlike a 6.0. But if you put good oil on it, you run a motorcraft filter and run a motorcraft fuel filter also, and just stay on top of doing what you got to do, it'll last. He's going to make an appointment to come back. We offered to do it now, but I think he wants the truck back because we're approaching hunting season. But this truck needs cab isolators, which I know that's a rare thing on 7.3s. But when I drove the truck after fixing everything initially, whenever you would make a turn out of the driveway or into a parking lot or something like that, you get all kind of cab noise. So I had Gary rock the cab while I was underneath it, and almost every single cab bushing, you're getting some play on it there. So it needs those, so we're going to do the S&Bs when he comes back on that. And we'll probably have this in the video, doing that Mishimoto intercooler and the transcooler, because we don't have a video on that, so we'll feature this one on another video. But I wanted to show y'all both of these. You just can't get something like this anymore that's going to last like that. And yeah, you can get miles like that out of a 6.7, but you don't hear of it very often. They're a little bit more cantankerous to me. These are just old dinosaurs that are hard to beat. So just wanted to show y'all both those. I thought it was kind of neat. This wasn't even planned. I just by chance had both these sitting here side by side, and I said, you know what, that'd be kind of cool to show those two off. Because even though with the cab bushings being jacked up on that one, it still drives really good, and you wouldn't think that it has that many miles on it. But it's Automatic Garage signing out. Y'all check out the other content on the channel here. A whole lot of Power Stroke Ford and Cummins content here. We're going to have a video coming on Old Red soon. We're doing some more upgrades to it. Ordered a bunch of parts today. Scheduled our remote tuning for the fuel injection on it to get it all tweaked in just right, because I haven't been 100% happy with the Aces, but I think we're going to get that took care of from Nomadic Tuning in South Dakota. Is going to remotely tune it. So we got all that coming. We got the 450 back in the shop. We got to do a bunch of stuff with the rear end. For those of you that keep up with the channel, we had a short on that, having to go rescue Trace with the axle messing up on that. Whole lot of trucks around here. See what we got there. We got a high pressure oil pump there. We got an oil cooler there. That's a crank no start. We got another OBS 7.3. We're doing an oil cooler and exhaust manifolds on. Got another 7.3 behind the shop. We got to do a dipstick adapter on. 7.3 Excursion. We're building a rear diff on, and another 6.0 that I think it's an injector or two that's starting to goof up on it. But we appreciate y'all. We just wanted to show y'all this real quick on the channel, these two trucks. So we'll holler at y'all later.